Welcome to DIYEasyCrafts.com, how to make an easy birchwood snowman Christmas decoration. Now this carved wood snowman is actually whittled out of a birch log, or actually you could do it on almost any piece of firewood. The birch just looks nice for Christmas. We used a dremel grinder and an assortment of bits, and it's actually a very easy process. Now I got the assortment of bits in a kit that I got on Amazon, but you can find these at Lowe's or at Home Depot. Almost any hardware store has them. I used a large router bit to remove the bulk of the material, and also to start to create the defined lines for the hat and for the gloves and for the scarf, etc. And I'll show you how each one of these bits is used. I then used another coarse bit, but this one has a flat top to kind of more define those lines. I used the drum sanding wheel to smooth out any of the smooth areas, the face and the hat and the body. I used a smaller bit to again go back over and redefine the lines around the scarf and on the carrot nose and on the hat, etc. I used a wire wheel to get rid of all of the burrs created from those other bits. And I used a small cutoff wheel to create some lines. So I made a hat band with that. And I also added some details onto the scarf and also some lines onto the carrot nose. So we're going to start the process by just clearing the bark off of a section of the birch log. I used an angle grinder or a disc grinder with a flap sanding wheel, which made quick work out of this. You just really want to clear an area large enough to draw that snowman. Now you certainly don't have to be an artist to draw a snowman, but I'll just show you the basics here. I usually start with the hat. And then underneath the hat, I create just a circle for the head. I draw the scarf underneath that head. The scarf has two tabs coming down or two ends coming down. And then just a body. I added a couple of knitted hands, one on each side. And what I'm really drawing is everything that we're going to cut out with the dremel grinder. And then finally the carrot nose. The other details, the eyes and the mouth and the buttons, will all be done with a wood burning tool. So as you can see, I'm definitely not an artist, but in any case, after you've cleared off the bark from the birch wood, you just pencil or ink that design onto the wood, and then using that router tool, the coarse one, we're just going to start to remove material around the outline of that snowman. And you really want to cut this out pretty deep, probably close to 1/4 inch or so. Don't worry about all of the burrs. Don't worry about holding that line perfectly. We're going to go back over everything with the sanding disc and smooth out all of the rough edges. I am also, with that rough bit, this one has the flat top. I'm going to start to create the lines underneath the brim of the hat, on top of the brim of the hat, and then also for the carrot nose as well as the scarf. And I'm just starting to create those outlines. None of this is difficult. It takes a little bit of practice. this whole project, you'd probably finish the whole thing in less than an hour. I'm going to start to create the line on the top of the scarf. And really what I'm going to do is I'm going to taper the head into the scarf. Because that head theoretically is a round ball. So really I'm just going along all of those penciled lines and starting to create a groove or a line outlining each one of those features. And then after I get these lines done, then I'll go back and start removing the material below each one of those lines and merging them into the body of the snowman. I'm just outlining the mitt on one side, and then I'll do the other side. Alright, so after all of the outlines are done, and this is a continuing process, you're going to go back and forth over the same lines, making them more distinct. This is a drum sanding wheel, and I'm just smoothing out some of the rough edges. I can even use this to smooth out the surrounding background a little bit. It does also help to get rid of some of the burrs, but really I use it to merge and to smooth out all of the rough edges created with the other rough tools that I was using. Now when I say you can keep going back, you can use any tool that you want, whatever you're comfortable with. Any of these small routering tools is perfect to go back over and to redefine each one of those lines, make the outline a little bit more distinct. And go back over the hat lines and the carrot nose lines, etc. And then back to the drum sanding wheel to kind of smooth out any of those rough edges again. And you do this repeatedly until that snowman is defined as you'd like it, and as the background is as deep as you'd like it. And you can use that corner, that forward edge of that drum sanding wheel to actually go over and define those lines also. Now this is a cutoff wheel, a small cutoff wheel. I use this to create some additional details on the snowman scarf, on the carrot nose. What I'm doing here is just creating a headband, just a line that runs from one side of the hat to the other. Really getting close. Now the next step is going to be to burn in the eyes and the mouth and the buttons. I'm just using a wood burning tool with this. It just has a small circular attachment. It's a very quick process. Now, at this point, after I was done with the wood burning tool, I really thought I was going to be done, but I just didn't think that the snowman popped off of the background enough, or there was enough of a break between the background and the snowman. Visually, it just didn't look good to me. So I actually decided to go back and create a little bit of texture for the background, hoping that that would create the contrast that I was looking for. So what I did was I used an oval tool in the Dremel grinder, and I just kind of plunged it all around the entire outside perimeter, creating grooves all the way around that snowman. Just like a very, very rough, coarse background. And you'll see in a minute, I was very happy with the results of this. And that's pretty much a finished product. The only thing I did in addition was I did add some oil into the wood. I used a cutting block oil just to preserve the wood a little bit and prevent it from cracking in the future. But that's it. A very easy do-it-yourself birchwood snowman Christmas decoration. Couple images of the finished product. Please check us out on the web at DIYEasyCrafts.com. Check out our other how-to do-it-yourself Christmas decorations. And if you like this video, I ask that you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this YouTube channel.